What the data we get out of Gloat gives us is a true understanding of existing workforce supply, existing capability, and really enables us to do that strategic workforce planning perspective of what are those gaps we need to fill in the future. It was like the light switch was just turned on. Actually, this is what we need. This is what we can go and do. I'm Mark Jackson from Nationwide Building Society. I head up our future workforce team. That's a combination of strategic workforce planning, but then also understanding our existing workforce supply, which is powered by Gloat, where we've got all of the skills logged in our system. So Nationwide has roughly about 18,000 permanent employees and then a small amount of contingent workforce. We've got just over 600 branches, and actually we're now the largest branch network across the whole of the UK. So as an organisation, some of the real difficulties we had were understanding and getting consistency around skills in different areas of our organisation. We could do some great qualitative work around having great discussions with the business of, let's talk about your future skills. Let's talk about the way you get there and how that impacts our end customers. But you could never quantify it. You could guess and assume what the workforce have based on their job codes, but it never brought out the truth in terms of, well, actually that particular colleague is developing this skill and we actually didn't know about it. So tackling that as a problem is where we then thought up of the idea of we need something to capture the skills of our workforce to understand where could we help them develop and go into next within the organisation. Gloat has enabled that for us because we see the skills they have and the skills they're trying to develop and how that's changing over time. And then you kind of apply it at scale. Suddenly you've got the ability to move the workforce around and be agile. Gloat becomes your living, breathing ecosystem around skills. Whether that's building out the workforce skills dashboard, whether it's enhancing that careers development user experience, the real key bit there would be for all of our colleagues, they suddenly have this notion of they are building a career, not just a job, or thinking of the next job. And also, where you're moving someone from one job to another based on the reskilling you can go and do, that also has a cost avoidance of external hiring to fulfill that future role. So huge kind of cost efficiencies you can have as an organisation. As of today, we've got 2/3 of our workforce on the Gloat system and logging skills and different levels of proficiency, managers logging levels of proficiency, and some amazing things and amazing data points that we get out the back end of it. If you take a year's worth of skills data in terms of where skills have been logged or they've changed a particular skill or level of proficiency, that is 1.6 million data points on skills that we've had in the last year in terms of changes of skills. Which is, if you just go back a few years, we wouldn't get anywhere close to understanding that in the workforce. And then being able to kind of not only have that data, but then showcase it back to the whole of our workforce and also our leaders and managers. Suddenly we've got up this amazing picture of what does the work look like today, but what could it look like in the future?